The MCU admits a harsh truth about Iron Man's greatest fear 6 years after his death. Iron Man has been the poster hero of the Marvel Cinematic Universe since his 2008 debut, but the franchise's latest release has revealed a harsh truth about him. It's been 6 years since Robert Downey Jr.'s last appearance as Tony Stark in the MCU, as the character notoriously died sacrificing himself for the universe in Avengers Endgame. Even with the character gone, Tony's impact on the MCU can still be felt, especially in projects involving Spider-Man, as Tony was a close mentor to Peter Parker. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Flickwire. My name is Darcy. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Marvel's latest release in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man never mentions Tony directly, but plenty of parallels are inferred between Peter's relationship with Tony and his new mentorship with Norman Osborn. The series has even gone as far as to recreate Peter and Tony's initial MCU meeting from Captain America: Civil War, only this time with Norman. After the show has pointed out the similar roles that the two characters play in Peter's life, it also makes it easier to recognize a harsh difference between them. Iron Man didn't help the world as much as he could have. Tony Stark started out in the MCU as a self-absorbed billionaire who eventually evolved into a superhero who cared about society, shown by how he literally put his life on the line for the universe. However, one thing that always held Tony back was how he kept his Stark tech to himself. His fear of his technology landing in the wrong hands was definitely a justified one, as he saw firsthand how enemies used it for wrong in Iron Man. But a lot of situations would have looked much different if they had access to technology as advanced as Tony's. If only Tony had realized just how much he was holding back, he could have made an even bigger impact in the world than he already had. Tony did use his money and strength as Iron Man to help others, but the reality is that he could have done much more to help the world. Keeping the Stark tech to himself limited humanity's progression. It is a similar situation to when Wakanda closed its borders off from the rest of the world. It was a justified means of protecting their people, but T'Challa eventually did realize that it was a mistake. If only Tony had realized just how much he was holding back, he could have made an even bigger impact in the world than he already had. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man makes an iconic Marvel villain good for humanity. The big twist of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is that Peter's mentor figure is Norman Osborn instead of Tony, but that's not the only change they've made. In the show's first 2 episodes, Norman is made out to be a charitable man who wants to use his resources to do good for humanity. He's not made out to be a straight-up villain right away. When Peter first visits Oscorp, the lobby plays videos of Norman's various charitable ventures, where he talks about wanting to use his research to help the world. This twist doesn't necessarily mean that the version of Norman in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is a better person than the MCU's Tony. However, it is hard to ignore the difference in how the two billionaires have used their resources. Especially after his sacrifice in Avengers Infinity War, most Marvel fans hold Tony in very high regard. The harsh reality is that he did plenty of good as both Tony Stark and Iron Man, but there was also much more that he could have done.